This is amazing. Welcome back to the morning show. We're out here on site with Aquatic Pools and Spa, and we're taking a look. Not only do they, well, Aquatic Pools, Spa, and landscape. I got Bo Court with me. How are you, Bo?
Good, real good.
Dana, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You're gonna have to stand closer. I got a microphone on me.
Okay.
I didn't give you one. You know? He said, "Don't give him a microphone. What are you doing?" Now they're working over here, and I didn't realize you're down in here putting these pavers in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know you're a hardworking man. I just haven't seen it going on before.
Yeah.
This is quite a unique job. I mean, this is an art that went away a long time ago. It's coming back to be real popular, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And there's no grout or cement or anything that holds these in.
Nope. You got a base. With this one, we put a little more of a road base down just because of the soil conditions here.
But it's like sand, right?
Well, there's a 1 inch of sand on top of the road base.
Really? Okay, and the road base being like a fine gravel?
AB material. It's
compacted?
It's a 3/4 inch with gravel with sand and dirt, and it compacts really tight. So if you go up there and walk on it, you'll notice it's like concrete-based dirt.
Wow.
Now, we do it in 2 inch lifts. So every 2 inches, we water it and whack it, and then bring in another 2 inches, water it and whack it, and that way it's really nice and tight and compacted and holds up forever. So.
Now, and after you're done laying these, then there's another layer of sand that goes in that you
There's
drop
a layer.
in.
The last part before pavers go down is the sand.
Okay.
So we put 1 inch of sand down.
Oh, I understand that, but after it's all done, don't you put some
Yeah,
sand
there's a
in between
polymeric
there?
sand.
Oh,
so
polymeric.
So you throw that out, broom it in, and then hose it off, and it hardens up in all the joints and keeps them all locked.
So you mean if you decided, well, I'm going to come out and wash down my driveway, you aren't going to rinse all this? Get out. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I always wondered how that worked. But
right. And it gets whacked right, like before the polymeric sand goes down, we have to run our whacker over it. That way it tightens all the, levels it off and makes all the...
Whacker being that vibrating, compacting thing. That is just something. Bo, do you do a lot of these?
We don't. Normally we end up doing them in the backyard more than we do the front, but we'll get a few here and there. They come around. Lots of times we end up doing concrete driveways, but with this style house, he really wanted that kind of Spanish style, old Mexico look, and really liked the paver look for it.
This is just, it's absolutely amazing. Now, the cost of something like this as opposed to a concrete driveway, is this prohibitively expensive, comparatively speaking, or about the same ballpark?
You're going to spend a little bit more money on this than what you are on concrete, unless you get into real decorative concrete to where we can only pour so much at a time and do a real drastic stamp and color and stain and then reseal it and everything. Okay. But it's not as costly as some people would think.
Now, maintenance on something like this?
Oh, it's maintenance free. Yeah, no, it's
nice that if something leaks on it or whatever, you can pull that paver out and set a new paver in, and no stain.
My gosh. Well, what if, and with this, I see an advantage insofar as even around here with the soil as loose as it is. I mean, we're river bottom here. There's no question. We've got, when you put a driveway in, regardless of the amount of foundation you put under it and the thickness, there's every possibility of getting cracks in it. This, you haven't got that problem.
Well, that's what Dana was saying a little bit earlier. What we also did on this is there's what's called expansive soil down in this area. So we over excavated it. Dana, what did we go down, about a foot?
We went down a foot, but we also, what I left out is we put a 6 mil plastic down as well.
Oh.
So that keeps those natural soil from being able to penetrate through our AB, and if you ever notice, some of the driveways out here will have that alkali bleeding through.
Yeah.
You won't get that with what we've done.
Oh, for crying out loud.
So,
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
How, in regard to the numerous driveways you do, which ones are coming out? Is it a 50-50 split between concrete and then the texture you put on and everything, and pavers, or is this becoming more and more popular?
Well, this will be our showpiece.
Yeah?
Yeah, this will be our showpiece. This is our, one that we're gonna, I've had 2 people this morning already come by and
here's my card, right?
Yeah. So.
Well, that's great. I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of business in neighborhoods from people driving by and seeing the work that you're doing.
Yeah, and if you go by and see, I scouted out the area for other paver driveways, and this will definitely show really nice.
Now, these guys have to know exactly what they're doing, because obviously you've got so many different sized bricks in here,
right?
Or pavers, I guess.
A certain amount per square foot, to make sure. There's no set pattern on this. This is just a random. But there's a certain amount of each size, and there's 4 different sizes, so we just got to make sure that we put that amount in that square footage, so you don't get so many of one in one area. So that way, it's, as you can tell, it's pretty well
Distributed, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine, if I ever tried something like that, which I obviously never would, but I can just imagine if I did, you'd have to get a stone cutter over there to line up the ends, because I'd never, it'd look absolutely horrible. Now, the block that you're using, obviously this comes from a company that does this exclusively, builds these pavers, and they do them in ovens and everything else, right?
Yeah, the nice this is actually an upgraded paver. It's called a Belgard paver, which is more of a high-end paver, and the reason why is because it gets that natural look to it. You can buy pavers from a lot of different sources and that, but this just has, like Dana was talking about, there's no specific pattern, but there's 4 different sizes to it, so it gives a real nice rich look to it, and along with the different color variation in it. Lots of times you'll see paver driveways where they're just maybe 2 different shapes or even just one size, and that's it.
Yeah.
So that's
How long does it take start to finish? Now, this is a pretty large driveway.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, there's some length there, what, quarter mile or so? Well, that's my scale anyway. So, what are we looking at for a length of time to complete a project like this? Because obviously you had to come in and tear the old driveway out.
sure.
This was a little more work because of the fact of the soil down here. So we over excavated it quite a bit.
Yeah. So
Make sure they
you're
don't
looking
have
at
a
a couple
problem.
weeks on this?
No, not quite that long. Pretty close to a week and a half, though.
That's not really
'cause
bad.
When we're done with this, we got to come in, and he wants kind of a wavy edge, and then we got to put what they call soldier course in, and that's got to be set in concrete. So there's still quite a bit of work here to do.
Wow. This is absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna have to come back and take a look at this.
Oh, definitely.
afterwards. How's the pool stuff going now? I mean, we're cooling off a little. Look at this.
Right.
Here it is, December, for crying out loud. We're standing out here. The sun is bright. It's beautiful. It's going to be 70-some degrees today. But people right now should be thinking about pools for the summer, should they not?
Definitely, and just over the past couple of weeks, we've taken it from CAD design to proposal and signed a couple of larger jobs that are in Kingman, Lake Havasu.
Oh, great.
And then a few around the area also, which is nice because people are thinking in advance, so it allows a lot of time, because when you get into that outdoor kitchen, fire pit sitting area, pool, spa, there's a lot of work to be done. So it's nice to get into December, plan those jobs out, get them permitted, and get started on building those pools right now or right after the first of the year. So then we can get people into their swimming pools before summer.
Fantastic. Now, and I'm not going to go into the whole detail of it, but I'm sure a lot of people, this house just recently purchased, and a lot of people who purchase new homes take a look at it and say, gee, this is what I want to do before I move in or whatever. You get a lot of that, right?
Sure. Well, that's where this one started. We started in the backyard. We did a CAD design, built it all out with a pool and an outdoor kitchen area.
Oh.
And then he decided, you know what? Let's put that as phase 2. Let's go out front and do the front yard first.
Okay.
So right now we're just doing the driveway and then doing the walk path that's coming around to the front door. And then next after that is going to be the landscaping out front here. And then from there, move into the backyard.
This is absolutely gorgeous, and I can only imagine what's going to happen in the backyard because it is sitting right on that little lagoon.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Going to be absolutely amazing with the summer sun coming right in on top of it. Well, this is a pretty great thing, and it is honestly good to see you. We're going to keep that
thank you.
footage just in case anybody ever says, yeah, Dana
Dana
never
never
worked.
worked.
We'll say, no, he turned down the radio real good for us. But Dana, good to see you.
You too.
Thank you very much. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Bo, thank you, sir, for coming down here with us today and
thanks,
showing
Bruce.
us this. This is amazing. Aquatic Pools and Spa and Landscape is all you really need to know. And if you stop and think about it, and he's talking about this CAD design, and we haven't explained that today, but that's where he can come over. They can come over into your yard. They can take a look at what you have now and then sit down and talk with you and see what you want later, and they can design it perfectly, and you will know exactly what you're getting before you ever get it. You'll know the exact cost of it. There's no add-ons, there's no anything else, unless in fact you want them, but you're going to be fully aware. So when the job is done, you know what you're going to pay. It's just it's a beautiful operation they have. So stop by and see them or give them a call. The phone number's on your screen right now. We'll be back with more of the morning show right after this.